Hey, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. So in today's video, I wanted to sit down and explain to you all why I decided to take this trading break of 14 days, what did I do during this break, and kind of my plans as I ease back into the trading space. You might have wondered, which I received quite a few comments and DMs about, and even replies to my Twitter post about this, as to where I've been, what is going on with you, and am I going to be coming back? And truth be told, I was really battling this idea if I should have just paused on trading and took this break, or essentially leave the trading space entirely, both the trading social media as well as, of course, the charts. And I was definitely leaning more towards, taking the break, which I did. That's why I'm here again, because I knew in my heart that at the end of the day, no matter how frustrated and emotional and just defeated I feel on the inside when it comes to how I was performing and how my brain has been acting, I knew in my heart that I wanted to come back, and that this path is what I believe is going to change my life and the people around me and help me kind of excel into other areas of my life too. So with that being said, yes, I decided to take the break. So on January 22nd, 2025, I posted this post here, just pretty much saying I'm on the brink of quitting. And then I did a follow-up reply to that thread, just explaining more surface level as to why I decided to kind of post it and what was going on. And so I received so much engagement. So first I want to say thank you to everyone that has supported me in my journey from the beginning, from recently, from since that post, or whatever it is. If you're new to the channel, I'm super grateful because you guys have no idea how much it means to me and how motivating and inspiring it is for me to see all of you guys continue to push through and feel the same way about me and my journey too. So just jumping head deep into why I decided to take this break, going a little bit more in depth than what I had posted on Twitter, is essentially the first reason is I was starting to fall back on the plan I set for myself into 2025. If you saw my recent video on my channel explaining the challenges I faced at the end of 2024, I was starting to fall back into that cycle, blowing accounts, kind of focused primarily on the money and not even the process, and just really at the forefront of my brain, just disregarding everything else that mattered in my life and only cared about chasing the bag. And I don't need to go too much into depth about this particular concept because I know as traders, we all understand how kind of detrimental that can be for your journey. But essentially chasing the bag, chasing the money versus like focusing on the process is only going to pull you back further from reaching more success in trading. And that's exactly what I did. So falling back in those same old tracks at the end of 2024 was not healthy. I started to not only see it in my trading performance, but also in my mental. It was really negatively impacting me. And because I wanted to make money so bad, I started to neglect really important parts of my life, like spending time with people I love, going to the gym more consistently, things like that, and some other things as well, because I was so focused on making the bag. So the second reason I decided to take this break is because I was really comparing myself to traders in the social media space. So this ties into why I decided to also take a break from trading social media, because it's just seeing all of these successful entrepreneurs out there and being so darn happy for them and knowing that they were able to change their lives, they're changing the people around them, they're making a positive impact on the community, as well as showing that trading can really provide like a limited amount of rewards. And I was so happy and so excited for all of these people, but also deep down inside, I felt jealous. I felt like I was dumb, that I wasn't capable of making said amount or changing my life or the people around me or having a positive impact on the community because I just was not getting there. I had just passed 2 years of trading in the futures market, and I was having this kind of expectation, or maybe not expectation, but more like a pressure that I should already be performing at a much higher level. And I know that sounds silly, right? Because we all know that trading is really determined by everyone's unique experiences and how they trade and how they are as a personality. So all of these different factors are going to change how our journeys are going to be. That's why they're so unique. But the best way I can put this into an analogy is when you think about going into corporate and you think about climbing the corporate ladder, and you know that in time, over time, with your corporate job, you'll move up. right? You're going to climb up, even if it takes a year or 2 years or even 6 months, right? You work hard to kind of grow up in that ladder, and it happens. That's kind of like the nature of a corporate job, and that's kind of the long-term goal of a corporate job, is to keep moving up, right? So that same kind of idea, I had placed it on trading simply because, I post on social media and I wanted the community to kind of like see like, hey, like you're able to continue to grow, and also just that pressure that maybe the community already thought that as well, that maybe I should be climbing up the ladder just like you would in corporate. I hope that made sense, but that's kind of the idea that was playing in my head, and using that plus comparing myself to all the other profitable, consistent traders in this space, I just thought that I should be doing so much better, and I'm not. So it makes me feel kind of incapable, or that I don't have really the potential to truly be a good trader, let alone be a good person to even look at in the social media space. So it was a lot of mind games I was playing with myself. It was a lot of beating myself down and kind of making my accomplishments seem so much smaller than they actually were, and just focus more on like the losses or like the negative memories or the negative experiences versus the good things that kind of help push you along in your journey. So I know I say a lot that small victories lead up to the big victory. I truly believe that. I believe that with my fitness, I believe that with my corporate job, I believe that with everything else in my life. But it's so strange that when it came to trading, it was so hard sometimes to grasp in my mind that these small victories of following my plan every single day, like managing my risk, managing my emotions, all these little wins are going to add up to the overall goal of being consistently profitable. So every time I made one slight hiccup or a mistake, I would forget all those victories and I would just focus on that one hiccup or that one mistake rather than everything else. So the third reason I decided to take this break as well, is kind of adding into those mind games, is I was starting to really believe that I just didn't have what it takes. And we all know that at the end of the day, we have our own backs, right? I have my own back, you have your own back. Of course, you'll have a support system, but you are your own person and you have your own kind of responsibility and accountability to change the way that your life is. You have like literally the control of your steering wheel of your car, of your vessel, which is your life. And for me, I felt like because I was giving up on myself, because I thought I didn't have what it takes, slowly but surely I was losing grip of that said steering wheel of my life. And it was starting to really play into other parts of my life. And this is kind of where I don't want to get into the very extreme kind of intimate details, but so to speak, I was just getting worse. I felt really bad about myself. I thought that I wasn't going to amount to anything. I thought that this purpose of me being in trading and being able to eventually make it so I can help others in the space as well was just a facade and a fraud. And I thought that pretty much I can't do this, and when you stop believing in yourself and you start to fall for this idea that you're not able to amount to anything or that you don't have a purpose, then you kind of just want to give up on everything in life. And I didn't necessarily give up on everything in life, right? Like I was still content with other pieces or aspects of my life, but it wasn't to the full level of fulfillment that I normally would have it at. And so I just recognized that pain point, and it hurt much more than me not doing so well in trading, because I knew that deep down inside, like I'm not this person, and when you start to realize you're becoming someone that you're not, it kind of wakes you up a bit more than you realize. And when other people start to kind of call you out or like ask you if you're okay more often than not, then other people are starting to recognize as well. So it really was a weird place for me, and it was tricky to get out of it. But honestly, taking this 2-week break was such a healing process, and it really opened my eyes that I just needed to step away and I needed to come back to who Jess really is. So again, there's more intimate details that are kind of part of this, and it's a lot more to it, but I don't want to kind of put it all out on the internet, just because there's some things I believe you should keep personal and off of social media, and there's other things that, if you want to post it, you can post it. So this is one of those things I kind of want to like lean back off of, but I hope that gives enough kind of surface to let you understand why I decided to take this break. So there's about 2 other reasons as well that I'm going to also keep personal, just simply because I want to keep that personal, but I hope that you can understand at least the gist as to why I decided to take this break. And it was really hard for me, honestly, as someone that has been trading pretty much every single day since I started. Posting on social media about my whole journey has been really amazing, but that just goes to show how much more difficult it was to really step away from everything. Step away from posting, step away from creating, step away from actively trading, step away from backtesting, just really step away. And I really wanted to break down the things I had to step away from to hopefully help you understand that trading is much more than just clicking a button. The simple aspect and foundation of trading is, yes, you click buy, you click sell, that's about it, right? But there's more to it. There's always more to something that is going to provide you high reward, especially if you're putting in high risk. So with this, it's like I had to pick if I wanted to continue down the same path or if I wanted to heal, become a bit better, and remind myself why I'm even trading in the first place. I started to lose sight of that because I was so money hungry on trying to make money, whether it's every single day or chasing a payout. And after I lost my around $20,000 payout for the month of January, that really kicked me in the head of how awful I feel too. So the pressure just kept building that, people are expecting me to post payouts. The pressure kept building that I was expecting to make money in January because I was already on that path of being able to reach two payouts anyways. And it was just a lot of things playing into it, but the mind games were real. They were definitely real. So to segue into the next part of the video, what did I do during this break? Honestly, like I said, I stepped away from everything trading related. I pretty much reduced the amount of time I spent on social media. I didn't look at charts. I deleted TradingView from my phone. Didn't log into TradingView or TradeZella on my laptop. I didn't trade any of my eval accounts or prop firm accounts, and I didn't really look at social media as far as my YouTube goes or even on Twitter. I might spend a couple minutes here and there just scrolling, but more so to see what was going on in the world, like politics and the trade war, etc., etc. But I wasn't trying to either actively or with intent look at anything trading related. If it was there, it was there, but I wasn't trying to look for it because I knew that I had to really stop. I also started to be more consistent with the gym. I actually have new goals that I'm pursuing, and I want to grow a little bit more size on my lower body, obviously on the upper body too, but definitely on the lower body. I have some trips coming up this year that I want to really prepare for. And with that, I've also been journaling so I can help the internal side of myself. And journaling every day has really been amazing for me too. I used to journal more often before, and as time went on, I became more lazy, more unproductive, and just didn't find it as a priority. But because I had more time on my hands, I really wanted to take the time to just write whatever. And it could be anything from what did I do during my day to how I was feeling, what my goals were, what's something I'm super grateful for, what does gratitude mean for me, just kind of anything that was going on in my mind. I would just word vomit onto the piece of paper, and that helped me really relieve a lot of the thoughts that go into my head because I'm an overthinker too, so there's just a lot to unpack, as you can tell by the video already. I also started to spend way more time with people that I love. So almost on a daily basis, I'm seeing my best friend, also because we go to the gym together, spending time with my relationships and making sure that those people know that they're loved and that I care about them. The days before, when I used to trade and have a really awful session, I would not want to talk to anybody or go anywhere. So that did affect my relationship to some capacity. So now, during this break, I was reminded how important it is to really spend the time with people you love, and know that even if I have a bad trading session, that's trading. I was just really enjoying my time away, obviously exploring other ventures, doing my thing, but really not focused on trading. So as I ease my way back into trading, I'm really trying to take it easy on myself. Before, I would go jump off the cliff right into the deep end, and that would essentially bring back all the old habits and patterns of execution I would do before that wouldn't allow me to be so successful in my trading. And slowly but surely I would drown and drown and drown until I felt like, hey, maybe I should stop, and then I would come up for a breath of fresh air. So for this 14-day break, I really feel like it has really helped me a lot with just refreshing my mind, reminding myself that I'm more than just what my P&L is, and that there's so much more to life than just looking at the charts. And I know I've talked about these things before, and I'm sure you've heard of these things before too, but it's just important sometimes for us humans that we go through different trials and tribulations as reminders or as lessons or experiences in order to become better and to grow from it. So sometimes you have to go to a valley in order to climb to the next peak of your mountain, and that's kind of where I'm at, climbing this mountain one day at a time and just taking it easy on myself. So the kind of goal I have in mind is to just take it day by day and focus more on the thoughts and the words of affirmation I tell myself. Might sound kind of silly, might sound kind of strange, but honestly, our words and our thoughts have much impact on our lives than you might think it does. And because obviously I'm thinking all the time and I'm the one that gets to choose what I'm going to do and say, I have to be more mindful and careful about the things I say and do for myself. So with that, I'm just reminding myself that my worth is not attached to what my P&L is or what the outcome of my trading session is or even the outcome of my trading journey. And on top of that, I just want to go into every single day understanding where I feel with my emotions, because the sooner and the better I can understand what my emotions are and where my thoughts are, then the more I can understand if it's reasonable for me to even trade. So I've already been thinking if taking a longer break is the best thing to do, but I also know that I want to come back into trading, and I'm not going to expect to jump right off the cliff into the deep end so then I can be in every single prop firm account and trying to make all this money, but more so I'm going to kind of ease my way into the water, so to speak, and just focus more on the ability to trade and the ability to just take my time with trading, that there's no rush in this game, especially if I'm doing this for the rest of my life. So what's the point of trying to make $20,000 in 1 month if I'm going to blow $50,000 the following month? This is a long-term game, and I have to remind myself that. So that's kind of where my headspace is now, and just focusing on all the things that really fill my cup and really allow Jess to be Jess. So yeah, that's everything I wanted to discuss for today's video. I really hope that you guys were able to gain some insight as to where I've been, what happened, and where I'm going. And hopefully you guys are also killing it. Based on what I've seen as I came back into the trading social media space, is so many of you are killing it right now. Even though January and December were quite difficult months to trade, you guys are just killing it, and I'm so happy for you all. It makes me so glad to see that our community is still thriving and growing, and hopefully I can catch up with all of you guys and we could just, cross the finish line together. But as always, thank you for your time and support. I wish you guys nothing but the best and the most success in all that you do, and I will see you all in the next video.